Now or never. Gove says UK will leave negotiating table and never return over EU red lines. Michael Gove has warned the EU it has just 2 weeks to agree a free trade deal with the UK, or Britain will up and leave and never return to the negotiating table. Giving evidence to a House of Lords Select Committee, the Cabinet Office Minister said, "If we can't secure a free trade agreement before December 31st, then it will be the case we will trade with the EU on World Trade Organization terms." He added, "It certainly won't be the case that we will be going back in to secure a free trade agreement. If it is the case we can't secure an agreement by December 31st, that's it." Outlining the government's thinking behind the firm deadline and refusal to consider restarting negotiations afresh once freed from the transition period, Mr. Gove said after so many years of Brexit negotiations it was time the UK got on with life outside of the EU. He said, "I think it's important, 4.5 years on from the EU referendum result, not to spin out this process unduly. Both sides are going the extra mile, but there has to be a deadline." Earlier today Mr. Gove said he believed the chances of a deal being agreed stood at less than 50%. However, he said the UK was willing to keep talking to try and secure an agreement. Lord Frost has been in Brussels for the past week talking to the EU's Michel Barnier on a daily basis in a frantic bid to try and agree a deal. Issues surrounding fishing, fair competition and state aid have stalled negotiations for months, and there is now a real possibility the UK will exit the transition period on December 31st without a deal. While he confirmed there would be no more trade talks after the end of the year, he did say in the event of a no deal the two sides would keep talking. He said, "Of course it's the case there will be, as there would be between any set of neighbours, conversations. Those conversations may include the EU chasing or indeed is choosing to make unilateral decisions that will make life easier to one of the other side, and it may be the case that those decisions are reciprocated." The EU has outlined a number of contingency plans in the event of a no-deal Brexit to try and minimize disruption for businesses. Britain is expected to introduce similar reciprocal measures if necessary, with Mr. Gove confirming the government was looking at Brussels' proposals. In another sign the UK is most likely to be heading to a no-deal exit on December 31st, MPs broke up today for the Christmas period. It had been expected Commons leader Jacob Rees-Mogg would ask them to remain in Westminster next week in case a deal was struck. But with no sign of a breakthrough in sight, this morning he told MPs he was sending them home.